Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Super Bomberman R playthrough. In this part, we are doing Planet BrainWave, which is probably like
only the second best planet after BrainScratch.
Oh yeah, you know, BrainWave Comms is going to get a copyright notice in their mail very soon, I would say.
Yeah, but they really started to fall apart once they got that Todd
guy.
Oh
man, Todd's a big dick, but everybody knows that you only watch that channel for Juanny anyway. So
Juanny the editor.
So what's weird about this game is that like every level in the story mode like has a character that like a Bomberman who kind of gets the spotlight for that one. Like yellow was 2, red was 1. This level's blue.
Well, red and aqua kind of in one.
Yeah, but it feels like some characters just kind of get skipped. Like pink,
black.
Yeah, black. I mean, like he gets a small scene in level 4, and like pink really didn't get anything until the 7th level in the DLC. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's not that big of a deal. It's just, you know, you'd think that if they wanted to do this, they would have had 8 levels, so each Bomberman would get the spotlight at least once. But then again, I also think that the game would go on too long if it were 8 worlds long. Because I think like this game's about the right length that it needs to be at 5 worlds with 8 stages each. I think going any longer than that would have made it drag a little bit.
Agreed. Maybe cut out like one world.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, maybe have a short tutorial world and make that be White's world or something. Like, I don't know. Nobody cares about White anyway. Yeah. He's a prick. He's the boring one.
Well, I gotta have the leader, quote-unquote, character.
Yeah. And I mean, granted, he is, like, it is funny how nobody pays attention to him, so I do like that aspect of it. Also, this
place is so bright.
This is like the only level in the game where I think the colors are even close to as bright as they should be. Like, the game is very vibrant looking in the cutscenes, and it's just the way that the models look in most of the other worlds is just kind of dark looking. So I would like it if it, like, I mean, if they were going to make a sequel, I would assume that they probably would use these same models again, but
almost assuredly.
Yeah, but if this were a perfect world, I would have them redo the graphics to make them 2D animated, like the cutscenes. Because, I mean, honestly, that would take less processing power, so the game would run better. And
but that takes more work.
Yeah, because they would have to animate all of the sprites again, and it would be more difficult to do 3D crap like this. Because this is like the only stage in the game that even tries to do a lot with the 3D. Because almost every stage has 3D stuff with the spring gimmick that they've got going on here. But I just think it would look so much more vibrant. And it would really, because most of the multiplayer levels don't do much with the multiple tiers anyway. So it would just...
Oh boy, escort mission.
I'm not the only one who sees Amy Rose with these random...
dress, yeah.
With these random hostages, right?
Yeah, it's Amy's dress.
Yeah. So what...
It's like straight up Amy's dress.
So what's weird about these hostages is that you have to save the hostages in these levels. I think there's 3 hostage levels in this world total. So actually more than... there's more special stages.
Oh, they get frustrating later, though.
Yeah, they do. Because here's the thing. Normally you would think, okay, like, I'm going to take one hostage and bring it back to the safe zone and then go back to get the other one. Like, that's a reasonable thing to do.
Except, and if anything touches them, they die.
Not only that, you can't only drop off one. You have to drop them all off at the same time, which is dumb. It's like, also, sometimes you can walk into the little square there and the game just decides, oh, they're
sticking out a little bit.
Yeah, and they, like, follow you in a line, like Pikmin. And so, like, sometimes you'll try to, like, crouch into a corner to avoid a bomb, and then some of them will be sticking out. And then they die, and you have to go back to their spawn point in order to pick them up. I mean, if you die and they don't, thankfully
they just stand there.
Which I think that's what should have happened the entire time, probably. But, yeah, once you get to especially the one in World 7 is obnoxious.
Oh, yeah, 7 is just painful.
Yeah, World 7, when I first played it, I was like, oh, this is interesting, this is pretty cool, and then you get, like, 5 levels in, and you're like, Jesus Christ, there are so many enemies. But, we'll get to that when we get to that. Just
the best part about that, though, you can go in 3-star that world, too. It just gives you more pom-poms. It just, instead of a new character like a Pretty Bomber for getting all of them, if you 3-star World 7, you just get a new set of pom-poms to buy.
But that's your reward just for beating World 7 normally is just a new set of pom-poms.
Yeah, but you get another set of new pom-poms.
Ooh, even fancier. Wow. So they also they named the little balloon guys in that one. Well, I mean, I'm sure they always had a name, but they're
named Balam.
Balams now. I mean, granted, there's no way to learn enemy names in video games anymore because nobody reads the manual / the manual.
There is no manual.
Doesn't exist. So, like, I mean, I think those balloon enemies have been around since at least Bomberman on the NES. Because there's some...
Oh, you actually got Rubber Bomb.
I have points. I know it gets replaced by Pass-Through Bomb later in the stage.
Right. Yeah, just ugh.
Yeah.
That's why I hate it.
It basically makes Bomb Kick and Bomb Throw effectively worthless. I mean...
Or very, very dangerous.
I mean, if you just want to cause mayhem in multiplayer for shits and giggles, it's fine. But if you actually want to be, like, strategic, it's easily the least useful power-up in the game. But I just got it because I don't use Bomb Kick too much in single player anyway, so I...
Oops.
Ah! Now,
oops.
Now, there's a trick you can do, which I do later in the game. If you don't want to die, like if you trap yourself in a situation like that and you know you're about to die, if you pause the game, you can exit the stage and come back to it. You'll have to
restart the stage.
Yeah, you'll have to do the stage over again, but you won't lose that life. But the thing is that if you've already lost a life, the game saves that you've lost a life, so it's only good if you can catch it before you die, basically.
Yeah.
But it's very...
And at some points, it's almost better to just take the death if you're like close to completing a really hard stage anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's really any relevance to holding on to that life.
Yeah, but, well, the thing is that when you're playing on the harder difficulties, every life matters, is the problem. So, like, if you're going for a no-death run to get, like, 3 stars for Pretty Bomber on, like, Expert Mode, I recommend doing that a lot.
I don't know why you would, but...
I mean, you do get the highest point bonus for beating Expert...
Yeah, but if you're dying so much, you're not getting that life point anyway.
Yeah.
What is the score criteria?
So
lives, continues, and number of power-ups gotten.
Yeah, so for each life you have remaining at the end of the stage, you get a certain amount of points. I think the number scales as you go up in difficulty. You get a straight up bonus if you beat the stage. I believe it's like 300 for
no continues.
For no continues, I believe it's 300 for beginner and like 500 or 1,000 for normal. I don't remember what expert is. And then like each power up you pick up gives you like 10 points, basically. But you pick up a lot of them. So most of the time it's really not worth if you're spending so much time on expert mode, just resetting in order to get the perfect stages each time, you're actually not making money more quickly. You're just
Yep, that's why the best way to grind for money is just the final boss.
The final boss on normal, I think, is probably the most cost efficient. But like if you just want to say, oh, I've got 3 stars on expert mode, you're gonna want to do that because the game does keep track of your ranking on each difficulty mode separately. So you know, for bragging.
Yeah, but thankfully for Pretty Bomber, it doesn't really care as long as you have 3 stars at every stage, at least somewhere.
Yeah, at least somewhere. So beginner, obviously. Honestly, it's not the fact that the enemies go faster that makes beginner so much easier because, like, on normal mode, they move a little bit faster than this, but it's not unmanageable. It's mostly just the AI for the bomber fights that makes it harder, and the fact that when you continue on normal mode, you have to spend like 1,000 coins to reset. And if you're dumb like me and just did that early on anyway, you're gonna burn through your starting gems for one. And it's just it's dumb because that's gems that you could have spent on a new stage for multiplayer or pom-poms or a character or something.
Yeah.
So
because you only had to pay 10 coins on beginner.
Yeah, which is like next to nothing.
Also, thanks for wasting our time, Ted.
I was trying to be silly, but then I blocked my way to the exit. Oops. Now, one thing that I'm glad that they didn't bring back from the old Super Bomberman games is that if you exploded the exit point, it spawned another enemy, which was really fast and hard to kill. And they just took that mechanic out of this version. So, thank Christ.
Another mechanic is you can actually lay bombs next to the hostages before you pick them up, and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They cannot be killed while they're in that help me animation initially.
Yeah, so, you know, you get exploded when you're in perilous danger, you don't die. But if you're safely protected by a Bomberman and then you get blown up, oh no. Now you die. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, that makes sense.
So just something to think about if you want to try clearing out the area first.
Enemies do respawn infinitely, though, in these stages. Those little purple diamond things will spawn enemies infinitely. I think that there is a cap to how many enemies can be in a stage at any given time.
Yeah, but if you reach that cap, you're probably getting killed anyway.
Yeah, I swear that the cap just straight up doesn't exist in World 7, though. So, you know.
Oh, no, I don't think it does either.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the game even runs as smoothly as it does in World 7, though, to be fair.
Well, it's, like, as we said, it's not the most graphically intensive game.
Yeah, but it's still, the thing is that these single-player worlds...
You killed one.
These single-player worlds don't run at 60 frames per second in 1080p, is the weird thing. Okay. Oh, man.
Watch where you're going.
Stop. Make him stop.
Well, you see, it makes sense that I'm screwing up this time, because it's in character for Yellow, who I assume would just be like, whee! And not really paying attention.
And that's why we need White around.
Yeah, he's the only... Well, honestly, I do think that Black probably is better than White, but he just doesn't care enough to try. That's my headcanon. Bomberman
Deepest lore.
fanfiction is the... Yeah, see, like... Oh my god, go in there. Thank you. It's like stuff like that. If there were a lot of enemies around, they could get hit and die. And then you have to go back to the squares and pick them back up.
Meanwhile, back to the lore question, where the hell's Max?
He's from 64, right? He's the guy with the weird...
No, that's serious.
That's serious? Oh, okay.
Max has been in a number of games. He's the closest thing to a recurring non-Bomberman character the games really have.
Like, because I know that in the old games, like, Black was, like, either the rival Bomberman or the evil Bomberman. And then, like, Max was his
The colors didn't... The colors really didn't denote anything. It was just another way to have more Bombermen.
I think some of these Super games, I think that was the case. But
yeah, but Max is more or less kind of the shadow of the series. He's like the quote-unquote morally ambiguous cool character. And actually on the Game Boy, they tried to like pull a Pokemon Red and Blue thing with like a Bomberman and Max game.
Oh, did they do like a Bomberman version, Max version?
Yeah, something like that.
There is Bomberman Max Champion and Bomberman Max Challenger.
Okay, so like in one you play as Max and the other you play as Bomberman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like the closest thing to a recurring character this series has, and he's not in this game even as DLC.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, granted,
fuck you, Max.
This is effectively a reboot of the whole franchise. Like, they're trying to make it...
Well, not like there's really any lore to worry about, but I'm just saying that it's like he's the closest thing to a recognizable character besides Bomberman the series has.
Yeah, it's a weird choice. I mean, I do understand, like, they're trying to establish new personalities for these Bombermen, so, like, okay, it's not just, like, you're white and blue and it doesn't matter and whatnot, and they did try to bring back old characters and stuff like that, because I believe the bad guy Bugler is...
Bugler's in from a previous game.
Yeah, I don't remember which one, but, you know, again, there's like 50,000 Bomberman games. Like, there's probably more Bomberman games than Mega Man games, and there's a lot of Mega Man.
Oh, most likely.
There's a lot of I mean, granted, they're all basically the same game most of the time. And again, that's not really a complaint more often. It's just you don't need to play every single Bomberman, I think, unless if you really, really like it, which, I mean, more power to you if that's the case. But it's more like...
You got a lot of games to play, though.
Yeah, it's more just a matter of, okay, every couple of systems or whatever, I'll be like, okay, I want to pick up a Bomberman. Or it's good to have Bomberman on this thing for multiplayer purposes or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think it was a great idea to make this a Switch launch game, though, because this, I think, other than Zelda, was like the game that people were most interested when that system was launched. It's like, holy crap.
Well, this is also the first game Konami actually made post their Pachinko problem.
Yeah, that's
Pachinko crisis.
Have they even made anything else since Bomberman?
I think the Metal Gear Solid Survive game is still being made.
Yeah. Like, I mean, nobody wants that.
Not that matters.
Yeah, nobody wants it, but it is technically...
It's a video game, and it doesn't involve
a video
Pachinko. So, I guess it counts, but...
Well, no, it counts. It's just a matter of did we want it.
I mean, here's the thing, like... Zombies aren't really even close to being that out there for Metal Gear. It's just like it's weird that you add zombies to a franchise and it makes it more boring. Usually doesn't happen, but with Metal Gear, it's like, yeah, zombies, like, pshaw. You know, that's like, they wouldn't even bother sending someone in like Snake for something like that in the Metal Gear universe.
You're just gonna have to get used to this.
My only problem is just that it just looks a little too generic for its. Like,
yeah, like it didn't even, for the footage I saw, it didn't even look anything like Metal Gear. Although I suppose
Kojima took all the crazy with him.
I think he took all the crazy and then some. Right? And have you seen that trailer for Death Stranding?
Norman Reedus.
Bomberman pregnant with a baby Bomberman. Bomb stranded.
holding a bomb with tears running down its eyes.
Norman Bomber.
I'm so glad I know how to bomb punch now.
Well, it saves your life more than anything.
Yeah, although you see, I think at this point, since I've got max speed, I'm going too fast. And trying to be precise is now very difficult.
It's definitely possible to be too fast in Bomberman.
Yeah, because like if you're trying to like line everything up so that it goes in between the pillars and whatnot, then you could very easily miss and then your chain's ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's really fun seeing you like roll around at the speed of sound. Woo!
Now, how is he wearing 8 roller skates?
I don't know. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so he has 4 on his hands and feet, and then 1 on the pom-pom.
So that's 5.
That's 5. Where do the other 2 come from? Like
eyeballs.
Well, no, he's a robot. He doesn't have eyes. He has a screen.
Actually, we're looking at this totally. No, wait, they don't have fingers and toes, do they?
Well, no, actually, he does. It appears in some games.
Yeah, they do. They do like the V for victory sign. They just
he basically pulls
a pair of rollerblades on each.
He pulls a bomber. He pulls a Mario 64. He just grows fingers whenever he feels like.
Just grows fingers.
Here we go! Oh, my hand!
What is this?
Yeah. So I believe that even in this game, I believe they do. Somebody does the V for victory sign at some point.
Yeah, or like White wags his finger or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can tackle enemies.
Pyramid.
Or not tackle bomber.
Pyramid Head can.
Oh yeah, so like, do the DLC characters have inherent
Yeah,
abilities?
they do.
Like,
yeah, we were talking about this earlier, but okay. So the 8 standard colored Bomberman can only press A to drop bombs. Other characters with special abilities can press the B button, and it's usually a special kind of bomb. But some characters have other things, like Simon Belmont has the whip. Pyramid Head will grow purple, and then if he touches something, they die. Stuff like that. You can get all of the DLC characters really cheaply. I think
most of them.
The most expensive DLC characters are 1,000 coins, and if you compare that to the Dastardly Bombers, which you unlock for beating the single player,
which are 5,000, I think.
Yeah, so
and Pretty Bombers like 30,000.
Yeah, so they're pretty easy to get, all things considered. You would be able to get them after just a couple of multiplayer
rounds
matches.
Of the final boss.
Yeah.
Or like a couple rounds of the final boss.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you were just playing multiplayer, you could get them pretty quickly. Because you start with, I think, 3,000 gems anyway. So.
Yes, you there. Wake up. Can you not see
Frickin' Blue, man.
Why is he narcoleptic?
Hey, Blue. I think he's mad at you.
Why does a robot sleep?
To save battery.
Oh man, you gotta get a burn heal for that one.
Oh! Magnet Bomber is like the easiest boss in the game. Well,
no, this is Phantom Bomber.
Oh, Phantom Bomber, sorry.
Magnet Bomber's first bomber.
No, but honestly, I think that Phantom Bomber is honestly even a little bit easier than Magnet Bomber is.
Well, because his bombs don't actually do anything.
Yeah, his Phantom Bombs don't do anything, and his big boss fight is the easiest out of all of them. Because you
can just hide very easily from him.
Yeah, and the pattern's really exploitable.
And we will see that whenever we get to it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, like, I'm more cautious than I should be in these.
Okay.
Yeah, he just let me do that.
That's beginner. Back in the pre-patch, he would be gone the second you even tap that B button.
Yeah, basically. I think if you play on normal or hard mode, they're about as hard as they used to be. I don't know if, like, on hard mode before the patch, if you can ever play a bomber that hard ever again. Like maybe they have a deal, like a multiplayer option for it. I'm not sure, but
Nope.
I-
You just walked right into him.
I didn't even know.
So easy, he says.
I didn't even know he had a damage box in that form. Is the thing.
Look at his hands.
Oh, you know, like Edward Scissorhands was a pretty like. Look at them now. It was an illusion, John. It was an illusion devised by Satan.
Divisid?
Devised, yes,
Divisid?
yes, devised. Have you?
Visit isn't a word.
I know that's the joke. Have you ever played Ghosts and Goblins?
Yes.
Yeah, that game.
Not that far.
Okay, so if you beat the game the first time, the game says that it was a trap devised by Satan, and that you have to go forward rapidly and make rapid progress.
Make rapid progress.
Progress.
Yeah,
Good old-
one S in that progress.
Good old Capcom in the NES days.
And then when you beat the game for real, it says this story is happy end.
It's happy end.
Yeah,
So the devil's plan is
the strong and courager knight. You feel strongeth welling in you.
so the devil's plan is failed eat.
Yeah, essentially.
You approved the justice of our culture.
The beer culture.
Death and destruction for everybody.
Yeah, so if you pick up extras of power-ups, you do get those points. So there is a point to picking up stuff even if you're at the max of 8. Because you get, like, I mean, it's pity points, but it's still points. And you
Also one of the best cutscenes in the game.
Yeah. I love how Blue not only doesn't care about the destruction of the universe, but the destruction of his own life here. Because it's interrupting his nap.
First 3 letters in the top spell God.
Yeah.
He can help us get out of this.
Yeah, God Vind X5. Konami's clearly trying to say something here.
Come on, it's time to do your thing.
Also, Green is like the only other one besides White that's competent, but Green's also just a little piece of shit. So he just
I love kabooming Dales.
kabooming tails. That's the best.
It's like that's a good translation joke.
Yeah, I don't know what they did for the Japanese version, but like honestly, I really
It was a pun.
yeah, it was a pun. But the thing is, I really do hope that they make a sequel just so that they can do more junk like
So we
that.
can find out what is inside kabooming Dales.
Yeah, but also like I think that the dialogue in the World 7 cutscenes is also really good because it's just kind of them dicking around, which I almost think is better for comedy than them like trying to save the universe or whatever.
I would say it'd work good for a Bomberman cartoon, but there's already been like 2 Bomberman cartoons.
Whoa! There's been a Bomberman cartoon.
Oh, there's been 2.
Wait, what? When is one of them terrible CGI animation?
No.
My uncle's on.
Uncle, do you know about the Bomberman TV shows?